And the webcams are fucked.
Fuck
God
you, Tim.
damn it. Hold on. And they're fixed. All right. This is on the wrong thing too. Hold on. Click.
Was this your first rodeo, Cloud?
This is a professional stream that I can't figure out how to make
Alright.
buttons work.
Don't worry,
Boom.
Amell. This is just
Magic.
like every stream.
Alright.
A wonderful train wreck that
Welcome
people like to
to
watch.
this clusterfuck, as we have said on a couple occasions, to week 35 of D&D, or Dungeon World, not D&D, with Amell. I guess we can do a quick recap of what happened last week. Last week, the party ventured into the Forest of Vents, finally succeeding in Cynathel's pretty much lifelong mission of searching for a way to retrieve the staff of the Great Tree, which was from his Great Tree in the High Woods. At that same time, Limrod decided that he, instead of like talking to the person who was in front of the staff, it's like, I'm just going to go walking right by him with my shield. Proceeded to get stabbed in the back and almost died as it ripped shreds through his armor. Eventually, he decided to put the staff down and, actually talk it out. Seoris,
Instead of killing the dragon.
right? Instead of killing the dragon, that's for sure.
I got this guy.
As
valor.
Seoris is trapped in vines, and he's like, "Guys, you gonna help out? Guys,
Hello?
hey, god damn it!" As he blows the horn of the ram to free himself, and Kazumi then realizes that the person in front of them with her eyes of the fox is actually a white dragon, a very old white dragon, that she at least speaks to telepathically, but he chooses to ignore a bit because he was preoccupied. At that point, Seoris was kind of the person to step up and speak to this being, and he asked what his desires were, which Seoris pretty much argued or answered with Citadel's wants, which is to retrieve the staff, return it to his force. He did inform that the staff was corrupted and would need to be cleansed before returning, and that he actually wanted to know what Seoris' actual wants were, where Seoris brought out his egg, and the dragon offered him for Seoris to come with him to hatch this dragon egg and maybe teach him a little bit. So Seoris goes off on his own, riding on the dragon after opening a portal to Castle Grayskull, which is where we last see the party go through, as Seoris flies off in the clutch, literally the claw, of this dragon, off to somewhere nobody really knows, somewhere. So Seoris is now gone for the time being. I mixed up the names here, apparently. So congratulations, Mike. You are now Moko's new character on the cams. Let me fix that.
Valor. I'm invisible to them, Aaron. I use 1 valor. It gets me 3 more valor. And now I am invisible, and I have multiplied my valor successfully.
Logan's phone died.
Okay. So, congratulations.
Congratulations on playing a fun class. Fair and balanced. Mike's come back as a Lancer. So you have Valor.
Yeah, a Lancer that's mixed with an Amellwind.
Are you drinking chocolate milk? Or is that horchata because,
Damn it,
Oh no, it's chocolate milk.
Oh.
It's Starbucks.
Screw it, we're
It's not
going with
horchata? Have your wife make horchata and it'll be over there in a couple hours.
and then
Chocolate milk is better than
I'm
horchata.
surprised his phone lasts as long as it did. When my phone
Ooh,
hits
I would like to hear your
14%,
wife
it
agree
lasts
with that
about
statement.
10 seconds.
She has no gripe. She can't make horchata, but I can make chocolate milk.
You
The
can
Irish
make,
invented chocolate milk, so
You can make chocolate milk?
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
swirl it around. Why do
Yeah, can you not make chocolate milk? Obviously, you use a brown cow, Tim. Obviously.
How you can tell it. It's how you know it's chocolate.
yeah. Some people like to call it black milk, Tim.
No.
Yeah, black milk.
Okay, I've never heard that, and you're full of shit. I'm just saying.
Everyone's full of shit.
You're an Indian. What would you know?
Native American is what we prefer to be called, I thank you.
No, they don't prefer to be called anything.
Alright, good enough. It's gonna be like that for now. I don't know why the webcam is so big for today.
By the way, Aaron's Indian name is Pooping Dog.
What of it?
By the way, what's the icon over Zeke right now? Strength?
I think it was a debility or something. I don't entirely know.
A debility that makes him flex?
What's wrong
I
with
don't
that?
remember why that was a thing.
got me.
It might have been. It might have been because like
We're
he
going to this
has the extra load and stuff. That might be why.
I didn't put it on there. That's all I'm saying. So, let's go ahead and go through this then.
That is an ugly ass picture.
Which one?
Faces. What is
The
that
one of the-
picture? Oh my
one of the
god.
ra-
That's
It's
Some
on
random
Skype.
woman.
What, the woman with the beard?
apparently you picked a bearded woman. Cool. Perfect. So,
It's with her long hair, because you said she had to have a beard, so I found a picture of a woman with a beard. She happens to be her long hair.
okay. So let's go ahead and get this started then. As you have apparently
She's pretending
that.
to be, she's a woman pretending to be a man in a man's career.
Okay. So,
A man's career. You want to get into that?
all right. So you step out of the dark swirling portal to a scene of just utter horror. In front of you is a statue standing about 10 feet tall of Seoris with a plaque at the bottom saying Monument of Heroes. Everybody kind of looks at it quizzically and then shaking off that feeling, and maybe a couple of you might have a chuckle looking at Limrot. Look around and see not just Castle Grayskull, but a small village has sprung up since you last left, which has been about 2 weeks or so now. Children are running around playing. Farmers are spotted just off in the distance with horses plowing fields. A few lumberjacks are wiping off their brows as they head into a building with the sign labeled Black Castle Brewery. A friendly dwarf male or female, not really sure, from this distance greets them as they step inside. Along the east side, you see a new grouping of houses with halflings relaxing outside. Near them, just off to the north a little bit, you see Brock the Rock training some new recruits for battle, and in the ways of SE2. The sight of him, though, reminds you of your friend Lost, be it by choice, as in Seoris, or by death, Samuel. You head out to explore your new village. A feeling that you've not really felt in a while enters your heart. Peace. For the first time in a long time, nobody's trying to kill you or treat you with disdain as soon as you walk into town. You're home. So what do you guys do? Where do you go first?
I burn it to the ground and
All
build
right.
a new.
So,
Young King.
so everybody dies. New game. Congratulations.
Sweet! Seoris is the only one that lives.
It's
character-
the Adventure of Seoris.
My character would work on seeing if he can build like-sized monuments of the rest of the characters out of stone or metal. Or yeah, over
Um,
by
You said
the
it makes
monument.
entirety of the session.
You look at that as you, I guess you go in and you get greeted by just a few people. You never had seen them before, but they kind of say hello to you, smile fondly to you as you walk into the castle to grab some.
My character does a fake smile. He's like,
So you fake smile as you walk by. You go into the castle, grabbing some armor from the armory, and start walking out with a huge handful of it in your arms, and start to melt it down. As you do, you hear this person go, "What do you think you're doing? Stop! Stop! Stop!" What do you do? Somebody goes, "You can't do that. No, 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 no." As he points to Seoris, he goes, "This is magical. You can't just put something like this," as he points to your armor that you're melting. It's looking pretty decent. And goes, "Next to this thing. If you're looking to add to the features, you're more than welcome to, but it'll cost you a little bit."
let me check my coffers.
And we look at Castle Grayskull upgrades.
Oh, we have all of it, by the way. We paid for all of it. We have all of it.
You have everything, but if you're continuing to do upgrade and do stuff like that, it's going to cost coins. So he looks at you, he goes, "If you're looking," he looks kind of like you have like 4 feet that are slowly, or 3 feet that are slowly starting to grow up. Maybe it's even
I think
4.
I have 724 gold.
He looks at you and goes, "It'll be about 1,600 gold, and I can easily create out of the same fine rock material, I guess." What the hell is going on? My shit was fucking up. I was jittering. He goes, "Make a statue of whoever you want, or the 3 or 4 of them as you're doing, but you're not putting that next to this statue."
Are you able to take half of the payment, make the actual portion of the statues, and make it magical at a later time? with
No, it's the
full
stone
payment?
itself. It's anti-magic, and it's made so they can withstand a pretty brutal hit. That way, no one can deface it or destroy it as they see fit. As he looks at you a little bit quizzically through the GM's eyes.
Yeah, I start to like look. I look like up like no one can destroy it. Like, I go, okay.
So he goes, I can't take it. It's got to be payment up front, though. It's very expensive to get. So he goes, 1,600 coins. You get enough of them, I'll make a statue of everybody that you want. Well, at least the four that you
Well,
have.
I look at my 724 coins and go, well, what can you do with this?
He goes, if you're looking for that, me, myself, not much, but you can look around town. Mike, if you want, you can look in the Roll20. There's the Castle Grayskull upgrades. And you can look and see which ones you can afford and what you want to do with it. There's a good listing of stuff there. So maybe you kind of go around town, talking to people, trying to figure out this information. That's what your character's doing for the time being.
Looking for the thing.
It should be the second document in the Roll20 drive.
Roll20 drive, I've
Yes.
got you.
So, Kazumi, what are you doing as you enter town looking at this statue of yours? Standing very, like, he's got like his lance on it. Smoko, describe what the statue of Seorus looks like.
It's a statue of Seorus with both hands on his waist, looking up and to the left.
Your
Well, he's got his lance.
weapon is like
He's
in
got
the
his
back, or
lance
it's like
here.
in the air, or where
He's
is
got his
that?
lance like off to the side, so I guess he's standing like this, looking up and to the left.
Okay, so his lance out, and that's what you see. So Kazumi, what are you
Do
doing
they?
now after seeing this sight to behold / potential horror?
Psychological horror.
Mm-hmm.
Magical
All
horror.
right, hold on. let's
So
see.
I'll upgrade the Chapel of Serenity.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that little part after this. So, Kazumi, what are you doing in town?
My first thing is to find Rose. So I look at the statue and like I laugh because Seorus has to have a statue, of course.
Okay, so you would probably assume Rose is in the castle. That's kind of where she's been. So you head into the castle and go searching for her. It takes you probably, 5 minutes to like go into the castle and calling her name before she comes like running down the stairs. She's like, Kazumi, and just jumps and hugs you. It's like, it's been so long. She's like, how are you?
It's been
She's
like 3
she's like
days.
checking you.
It's been 3 days.
It has
already.
been like 3 days, but still, it's been so long. For a child, it's been a long time.
Wait, are you
That's a
sure?
long
it's not-
time. Seriously.
Oh, right, because she teleported. I forgot.
It's awesome.
So she hugs you. She goes, "You got back fast. Is Seorus here? Did he let you through the portal? It was weird the last time. There was 2 of him.
He's weird all the time.
Yeah, I guess it's true. So, how is everybody? Is everybody good? How are you?" And she's like
Yeah.
checking you over, making sure you're not injured and stuff like that.
Seorus is no longer with us, unfortunately.
She goes,
You make it sound like he died. He didn't die.
She looks at you with tears in her eyes, like they're starting to watch. Like, he died?
He didn't die.
Food! I got food.
I want food.
That best be bacon.
Water.
It's pancakes and sausage.
You don't like pancakes? I'll take those for you.
Sure, come drive down. They'll be cold.
God, I want to drive down.
So hold on. I missed what you said because I got interrupted. So she's like, he died? And then what did you say?
No, he didn't die.
Oh.
He's just away for now. For now. He'll be back.
She goes,
I'm sure of it.
okay. Well, hopefully he stays safe. She goes, come look at this. And she starts dragging you off through the town, kind of showing you everything. And then shift you guys over to the new map. That might help you out a little bit.
And who grabbed her and is walking her through the
Rose.
town?
By the way, Petron's following with Zeke.
So zoom out. It's a pretty big map, just so you guys know. This is a representation of the town.
Shit.
There is no walls surrounding this town, just to clarify. It's an open field surrounding it. So, but I kind of have at least a rough version of it. You have your Castle Grayskull, your entrance, which will be kind of the road leading towards it. There is now a Church of SE2 to the side that's been built up because Brock the Rock kind of made this like his home. He's been building it up. You have your library. You have the brewery, which is over by number 5, with the inn just to the north of that. There are some farms off to the west, to the south of that, and you see like some normal homes of like some humans, dwarves, and like everybody mingling. The halfling slaves that you guys recruited are to the east of the castle. They kind of made their own little area. They're still a little wary of everybody in here because they were slaves before, and I mean there's elves, there's other people here now. There's a training area in the back, and the monument where you guys initially arrived is number 16, which is off to the left side of the castle. There's an orchard, there's farms right around 10 and 13, and there's just a little grove of like stuff just by the road and by the Church of SE2. So this is your representation of Castle Grayskull's new area. So Rose kind of starts taking you around, showing you all these little features. As we kind of look at Petrin, and Petrin, what are you doing?
I said I was following Kazumi.
Okay, so I guess
With
Petrin,
Zeke.
I guess as like Rose kind of like starts, like grabs Kazumi to get going, she looks, she goes, "Oh, hi, Petrin," and just kind of keeps walking.
I kind of take note of the whole settlement that we got going on here while she's leading around Kazumi, but I'm still following, waiting for when they get done. That way I can talk to Kazumi.
Okay, so do you make mention of this as she goes by?
No, I don't want to interrupt them. I want to let Rose and Kazumi have their fun.
Okay, so you guys spend a while just traveling through. At one point, Limrock, you go to visit your chapel that you usually do every time you come here. And you're looking around. It's in decent shape. It looks good. All the repairs are done. Everything's been fixed up, but there's some things that could always use improvement. So, what you're going to do is
Bless it by the goddess herself.
as if it is. So you go ahead and go there. So now, after you spend time in the Chapel of Serenity, or be it Dagda or SE2 for other characters, you gain +1 forward to your next roll that you do. So you spend some like time and thought and prayer. For yours, maybe it's just kind of looking, and then you kind of come to the realization that you might not always be here, and there should be at least someone here to take charge while you're gone. And you look at maybe one of the patrons that are in the chapel themselves and ask them to go find a priest of Serenity to bring them back to this castle. And you give them a pouch of money. I'm assuming you give them the 500 gold coins to go and find them a priest.
I'm giving him the 750.
All right, so you just give them the full amount.
I'm giving him my full amount.
Okay.
And I'll tell him, like, make sure that you have enough to get the person, whatever's left over, you can use it for your trip.
They kind of bow and they thank you as they set off to go find a priest. It'll probably be like a day at the most. He's just going to head out to the lock, most likely, to try to find someone. So your chapel has now been upgraded to level 2, which allows you to it offers +2 healing when you rest inside of Castle Grayskull or within the village itself for any players. It also allows you to buy healing potions at regular price. So you can buy healing potions from this place. There is a limited amount you can buy at a time, but they're 50
Our
coins
potions
each.
are too strong for you.
Yeah, I would just say that there should be a magic shop on the premise as well.
True, that is one thing I haven't put. That's why I left some spaces open, because I knew I'd be forgetting some things.
He said, "I want to build a magic shop there." I was like, "Sure." So now we have a magic shop.
So let's see. A magic shop would make sense to put at number 14. Magic
14.
shop.
Where's 14?
14's up to the north by the. It's right to the northeast of the inn.
It's through a bit of forest.
Oh yeah, it's by here.
Yes. So there is a magic shop, which I have not added any information in on. So it's still being built at the moment, since it's kind of one of the later notice type things that was planned out. Um, and then you kind of spend some time in the church. Do you want to do anything else, Limrod, or no?
I'll probably hang out with the other salamander guy.
What other salamander guy? You mean the big dude, the big beast? Okay, so you head off to the north a little ways, and kind of like meet up with him, maybe shoot the shit and see how events have been unfolding.
I'll probably also talk to him about anything that goes on outside, since I'm assuming he kind of wanders about.
He does. At points, he kind of mentions that he doesn't really stay in the forest as much as often anymore because of the townsfolk and them being used to him. He gets fed a lot, so he kind of stays closer to the castle itself, and just keeps more guard of it than he really used to intend or originally intended to, for that reason.
Food. If I can hear it, get food.
So Kazumi, Petrin, you guys walk around. I mean, Kazumi takes you everywhere. It probably takes a good Petrin. You kind of walk around, kind of getting the sights also for about a good hour. Just kind of like noticing everything, and you notice that for the most part, that monument of Seorus is always within sight from somewhere within the grounds. It was a very well placed location. Eventually, Rose kind of like wanders off to pick some flowers as Petrin and Kazumi are kind of like watching her just kind of enjoy life, and Petrin, do what you intended to do.
Kazumi, do you think we can talk?
We're talking right now. That's a silly.
Shush, you're not here.
I've been a little confused lately.
Confused about what?
Where you stand with nature and things of the sort.
I mean, it's nature, so everything should be preserved. Just how you see animals, and they should be protected as well. Is there a problem?
No, there's no problem. I'd like to see it through your eyes. That way I can understand it better. Because I understand protecting animals, and I've always have, and I always will, but like those tree people or whatever they were, is that really nature? Is that natural?
That's very natural. Isn't Petrin a half elf?
I think.
Did you have
You think?
I can't remember if I'm full elf or half elf.
You're elf.
Yeah, I think I'm just elf. I don't think I changed myself into half elf.
You are elf. Can confirm.
Yes. Not half elf, just elf.
That's very interesting that an elf wouldn't understand.
Well, just because I'm an elf doesn't mean I'll understand everything. That's like saying a dwarf is always going to be a drunken idiot.
I take
It's
offense to that as you hear Metalaz walk by.
Sorry.
And then Kazumi like pats his head.
His smile keeps going.
Hey, stop making racist things. I'm a dwarf. Racist.
Continue.
It's not being racist, it's stereotypical, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I'm glad that I could see where you're coming from, but in situations like we were in, how do we resolve conflict when it's nature and its mindset is just to kill? What do we do? Like that big oak that you stood by and watched. That big oak wasn't gonna stop. It could have killed us all. How do we?
Deer? Elk.
No, the oak, the big tree. Remember, ripped off a part of itself, started
yeah.
swinging at us.
Sorry, go ahead, continue.
How would we have stopped that?
I guess I'm thankful that you guys were there because some things I'm not compelled to get involved in.
I understand. So, when it comes to nature, sometimes you might not be able to help just because of morals, and I understand that. But what do you want me to do? Because you denied me on some things, and so I kind of helped you out with the way you were thinking. Are you gonna keep stopping me from doing things? If you think it's wrong in your morals?
If I can help it, I probably will. I'll have to stop you.
Would this be the
Well,
same for everybody? Kazumi, I'm sorry, Raymond, but would you have to stop anybody from doing this, or is it specifically Petron? I don't even want to clarify that.
Probably anyone.
No. So, to reiterate, she would stop anyone from doing this.
well, then what would you rather us do? Because if you stop us, then the thing would just kill us all, including you.
Not everything has to be resolved through violence, especially with, like, creatures of the forest.
I understand that, and I understand some creatures have understanding, but like that oak. If we weren't there to fight it, it probably would have just swung through us. Maybe twice. One hit winded me. It sent Sioris flying. Like, it was dangerous.
I would say,
But
I'm gonna just throw a little bit in here for you, Kazumi. Potentially, maybe your character thinks that it's just best to try to avoid the situation in general. So when that type of things occur, either try to let you talk to it, or maybe just back away and try to get away. Those ideas for you. Continue.
I mean, to be fair, it's like a home invasion kind of thing. Like, we were there on on its home, and I think it's unnatural for us to be there.
Like the Indians.
I don't think it's unnatural for humans, elves, kitsune, you name it, to be in a forest. This is the world. There's no... Unless someone says, this is my property, don't go on it, the world is free to everyone. I don't feel like us being there should have immediately been a threat. But if they feel that way, if they can't understand it, then yeah. I guess we'll just try to avoid the situation the best we can.
I think at this point, Rose kind of walks back to Kazumi, kind of, just gives you a hug. And she's like, there's more to see. Are you ready?
Of course. Like, I'm sorry, Petron. I have to go. We're obviously going to have to agree to disagree.
No, I understand.
Okay. And then,
Petron hops on top of Zeke and waves and goes in the other direction.
cool. So, Kazumi, you kind of keep wandering around with Rose for a while. Petron, you, where do you go? You got the brewery, you got the tavern, you got the castle. You have a bed that you, like, at the castle that you've really, been given but never really, like, moved into, since you've only been in the castle probably for a very short time.
I don't know what Petron wants to do. He
You
doesn't
just-
really have a goal in the town. And he doesn't really want to spend all of his money considering he's trying to save that up.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess Petron will just... what are the places? Church of SE2...
There's a chapel
Brewery.
sanctuary within the castle itself. There's
I
the
guess I'll
brewery.
go to the brewery.
So, you head on into the brewery.
Does Zeke get to come with?
Zeke's welcome. They're all aware of, your line, because you spent some time here prior to even going with the group. So everybody's kind of used to it. There's a few new people here and there that are kind of cautious, but once, the bartender doesn't make a fuss about it and a couple of other people, patrons, just kind of ignore them, everybody just calms down pretty quickly about it. And within inside the brewery, there is a owner. Would you please describe yourself?
She is about 4.5 feet tall. She's a little taller for a dwarf, I suppose.
Is she using a
She
stool?
She's a neat stool. She's got gold hair, like goldenrod gold hair. Probably fairly attractive. She's got like a little tiny
For a dwarf.
bag of herbs on her counter that she's trying to mix and make for the perfect brew.
Okay. There's within the place itself, you see lots of different patrons from halfling to human to elf, just grouped together as not in separate groups of races, but just as groups of like friends, drinking, having fun, joyous talk. You see Metalath in there already. He's having the time of his life. Sitting over by Brock the Rock, just kind of shooting the shit at the moment. And you see, obviously, our dwarf bartender, which you actually, as you like step up to the bar, you notice that there's a
Owner, not bartender.
Sorry. Well, I assume you would be running.
Sorry,
I assume you'd be running it.
No. She can't be there all the time. It's
Oh,
sometimes other people can do it.
Is it ran by other dwarves, or is it ran by like?
Oh, no. There's employees.
Okay.
She
Wanted
just
to make sure.
owns it.
Are you more partial to dwarves, or is it like anybody that you think any race?
Oh, every race is welcome, but dwarves tend to have the heartier, more accepting brew.
Understandable. So like all your scientist type people, I can't even what the hell for your the word for people that brew shit right now.
Brewmasters?
Brewmasters are all dwarves, but like your front end people are like a mixture of dwarves and humans, a couple halflings here and there that you've employed that were once slaves. Their clothes have been changed. They're much you've given them a little bit more comfort in life from doing so, and at the you greet him as he walks in. Then Paul.
Oh, hey there. Would you like
Is
to
that-
have a drink?
Is that really? Gonna
Oh,
be
that's
the
amazing.
voice? That's worse than
That was
Seahorse.
much better than the laugh. But
Would you like to try a flight there? We have a bunch of variety of brews here. I think you might like one. 2 gold will get you 5 flights.
Oh,
Five
God.
things to sample here. I always value the feedback of adventurers. They always can travel and see great brews.
Oh God. Amell, I might need a
Are you
minute.
alright there?
You might have to go to someone else while I deal with this.
As you just hear, you hear in the background, Paula, I need another beer. Petrin,
Hey
come
there.
sit down.
Hey there,
Get him one
Big
too.
You need to pay me gold this time.
He'll pay.
It's 2 gold for the flight.
He'll pay.
Of course.
So it's 4 gold for the 2 of you.
What do you
Let
do,
me tell
Petrin?
you a little bit about the flight too.
I
This
guess
is
I
actually
sit
me
next
of a
to.
teacher, and this is also me, the Broggebearer. It gets kind of a little bit of a sweet aroma there.
Why are you
It
talking
goes
so
on for a
loud?
while.
Continues to talk about the herbs and ingredients that go into making that.
As Metal looks, he goes, Paula, we have some business to talk about. If we need anything else,
Hey,
we'll let you know.
I'll leave you two lads too, and if you need anything, I'll be over here running the show.
Thank you. As he goes, Petrin, sit down.
Petrin sits down.
Paula comes walking back, boom, slams a very fine, perfectly looking ale. Smells amazing. Right next to you, take a sip of it. It's great. And Metalhead's sitting there with Brock the Rock, and he goes, after this beer, I've been talking to Brock about Samuel and what we found as a way to bring him back. He willingly accepted in the task of being the one of the deity willing to risk his life. So we need to get the group together, find some sorts of symbols, representations of Samuel as a person, as part of him, and dig him back up.
Well,
He kind of gives a sneer and he's he's gonna be bloated.
I
Uh,
don't know, or at least I didn't know, this man. So, unfortunately, I will not be able to help you with finding
No,
what
but
symbols of what he was like.
you could um, get the others together to offer for this.
I could do that.
Let them know. We will meet in. Me and Brock will take the time to dig them up, and we'll meet in the Church of SC2 to perform the ritual. It'll be dangerous, so he's risking his life for this. So we thank him, and
I look
hopefully
at
everything
Brock.
goes
How
well.
does he look?
Brock, his eyes are squinty. His hair is very pointy. He's
It's really Brock.
and I mean in general he's in pretty good spirits. He's been doing a lot of training and teaching people of SA2 within the town while you guys have been gone, trying to bring more of that to this area, as much as people from Serenity are flocking to it also. It's kind of becoming like a small little beacon outside the powers that be between the three different powers on this floor. So he's not in bad spirits. I mean, he's drinking his drink. He's preparing himself for what he has to do later, because he is risking his life. There's a potential chance that Brock may die during this. And the same chance that Sam's resurrection may not go as planned. So it will all depend on how you guys, realistically out of game, how you guys roll. This is all going to be really roleplay based. The way you guys roleplay this and how well you roleplay it will depend on what kind of rolls you get to make. If you do it shitty, I'm going to make you guys roll poorly. If you roleplay very well, I'm going to give you bonuses to your roll. That's how this is going to kind of work out.
Why were you roleplaying?
The representations of Samuel, like what you bring. I'm not going to necessarily make you all go out on a quest really quick and find something that represents him. Think of something as characters. You can, if you want, Moko, you can think of something Metalath would bring. Mike, think of something. Kazumi, think of something.
I'd like to use a ritual, since I'm at a place of empowerment, to extract memories of Samuel.
Okay, that's perfectly acceptable. So you would take some time. It's gonna probably take you like maybe a half hour to really pull, 15 minutes to pull the thoughts.
I
And
feel like
bottle
memory
them
is
almost.
very important to Limrod. It's something that he always has challenges with, so it's his most precious possessions of
It's
him.
sacrificed from you relating to Samuel. Do you want to give us an idea of like maybe at least one of the memories that you have of Samuel that you're like using to represent him? Like, do you have two good, like one good, one bad one of him?
I would say that, I mean, as he's pulling them out, maybe he has like a flashback to where maybe they were fighting and he was pulling on a lot of creatures and kind of out of the side of his eye, even though like maybe during the fight no one notices. Limrod was kind of like watching him in admiration of his courage.
Okay, cool. What one bad one?
A bad one?
Yeah, that's a good end.
I would say that I don't think Limrod had a bad view of people. I think his chaotic nature makes him kind of impartial and views them just as imperfections that all people have. All things can be done in a better way, so he just kind of
Would maybe the memory be like that of when he killed the Baron, where he just like hastily, without real quick.
See, that's the thing.
Planning?
It's chaotic in nature, so it's almost more of a chuckle to Limrod. So I guess you could also have that, but I don't think Limrod views it as a bad one, more as a that was pretty fun.
Okay, so those are like the two memories you pull. It takes about a half hour total, and you eventually bottle them up into a vial of like white cloudy like fog swirls.
Yep.
Kazumi, do you have an idea of something that represents Samuel as a character? As a reminder, he was a shield bearer of SC2. So even something necessarily representing his faith in his god, or even I don't know if he talked to you about his town or not prior to his.
I talked about the Naga and stuff, and how like the Naga was like a trigger word for me.
Mm-hmm. So maybe some. Do you have any idea on your own, or like that, or do you need some help from like everybody to decide on like a thing?
We did pull some of his items, didn't we?
There are his items, yes. You have as he gets dug up. I think that's actually probably what Metalath is going to use as a representation. is the shattered warhammer that he had. I think Metaleth is going
Don't
to
say
use.
the thunderous horn because we destroyed that.
No. This is
We don't want that
this is
thing
the
back.
this is the hammer that shattered during one of his combats, like when he fell, or not when he fell,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
prior to his fall. It was going to be reforged at Castle Grayskull, but never was. So I think
Never made it
Metaleth
that
is
far.
going to use that as like his bravery in battle and his courage. So he sits and that's what Metaleth is going to use. So Kazumi or Moko, for instance, do you guys have an idea for a third thing to sacrifice during this ritual?
I do not because I am not here.
Well,
Yours is not
I'm asking
available
you
think of?
to throw ideas to other people.
It could be his stupid horn, which we actually didn't destroy. We just got put somewhere
Actually, you
else.
buried it with him.
All right, so we can use the horn. He loved that horn. He tooted it all the time.
I probably also have a like a hair or something of his for when I was using a possession of his for the actual use of the stones.
Okay, so are you
Well,
willing
I
to use
prob-
either of those, Kazumi?
Couldn't I just go to the church?
You
There are
could,
many churches on the grounds.
you could go to the Church of Essie too. What do you? Because it requires something that literally is going to be sacrificed, like almost in a sense, an exchange for Samuel. Is kind of how it works. So the memories from Samuel, his like prized warhammer, and then one more thing.
Music stopped, by the way.
It
Not
should be
for
back
me.
on now.
It's working for me.
It was off for a very tiny bit there. So, suggestion would be like his horn of the thunderous roar. Potentially, you could use the hair from Limrod as like literally a representation of his body. Character-wise, Tim, you have any other ideas you can think of that could potentially be used for Samuel?
I don't know. Samuel was a very helpful character. He was always with helping, healing, defending.
So I mean, even literally like a set of bandages or a healing potion could necessarily represent that also. So it doesn't necessarily have to be anything like expensive or
I feel like bandages would make more sense. Maybe healing herbs.
something like that could work for maybe Kazumi in itself. Healing herbs could be a great idea because you could go off, you could collect some yourself, which is kind of like your preparation for this, and then you come back with them. How does that sound?
I'll do it.
Cool. Okay, so is there anything else anybody else wants to do in town before we move to a little bit later in like the night or in the day towards dusk for this ritual to occur?
I want to use Hunt and Track to find everyone and bring them all together to the inn, I think they told me to go to.
For the ritual itself? The ritual's gonna be in the Church of Essie too.
Okay,
We have
so
an
I'll just
inn?
I'll round. You're in the inn.
No,
No,
he's in the
no,
brewery.
I'm not in
the
the inn.
inn
Oh,
is
right.
that's just literally a brewery. There is also an inn which is to the north.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get them all together and take them to the church
Okay. So
using Hunt and Track with Zeke's smell. Let's see if I nail it.
Let's
Can
go
I
for
can
it.
I make this?
go ahead.
I got an 8.
So an 8. What do you get on an 8 for a hunt and track?
All right. My mouse is being. Oh my gosh! Why is my mouse?
A mouse? Is
Rip,
it running away on you?
Mouse.
Is it running to a wheel where it needs to go over and over and over and over again?
All right, Hunt and Track. On a 7 to 9, you follow the creature's trail until there's a significant change in direction or mode of travel.
So you kind of look around for a while. You're able to find Kazumi. You find Metalath. He's obviously at the bar, at the brewery. He's not really drunk. He's been kind of somber in his drinking today because of what's going to be happening. And really, originally, this was his idea to bring Samuel back and do all his research. So it's kind of a big deal for him right now, returning a friend. And then you can't find Limrut, though. So eventually you kind of look and wander around. You just give up. You're like, fine, we're just going to go inside. And Limrut is already inside the church waiting for you guys. Do you say anything?
Okay.
Limrut?
As nod.
It's nuts. Okay. So,
After what Metaleth said about this being dangerous, I don't really want Zeke to be in here.
Okay, so you decide to leave Zeke outside.
I'm gonna
You
quickly.
sure you
take-
want to leave Zeke outside?
That's what I was about to say. I'm gonna quickly take Zeke over to the brewery and ask the
Paula?
main person, ask Paula if she can keep him busy.
Well, go ahead. So you walk in, Paula. You see Petron walk back in with Zeke once again.
Hey there! What can I do for you there, lad? Have you come to try some more brews? I've gotten a nice, delightful thing I just created. It's quite amazing. You might love it.
No, I'm fine.
Are you
Um,
sure? You should come
yeah.
back later and definitely try it. You might like it.
Can I ask for a favor?
Absolutely there. What can I do for you?
This is so difficult.
I'm getting a drink while you guys do this. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
I pat Zeke.
You...
you-
want him to try the beer? Absolutely. I made one for animals too. It's great. I made it with
No.
a little bit of like yak in there. It's
No.
quite delicious. Are you sure? They might love it.
No. I was hoping you could keep an eye on him.
I'll keep an eye on him, alright. He'll be okay here.
Is there anyone else in this place that I recognize that could also possibly keep an eye on? Son of a bitch, Amell. Alright. Do you have anything that he could, like, drink or eat that's not alcohol?
Hey! I do. Well, not quite. You're in the wrong place there, lad. We're in the brewery.
You tell me you don't
Everything
have
here is
milk
to be enjoyed.
in the brewery?
I don't think they like that kind of stuff. It'll be fine. I'll
Do you
find
have any-
something for him. I might
Alright.
have a non-alcoholic brew somewhere.
Shirley Temple.
Are you okay there, lad? Here,
I just don't know
quickly,
if I want to
drink
be
this. It'll
needed.
make you feel better.
I'm
If
not
I hand
going-
you a beer,
I,
This has been bound by beer. You know, it's pronounced by ear.
I put it down. No, it's
Are you
fine.
being rude to a dwarf? I'm doing something hospitable to you, and you're just kind of being rude there. Just drink the damn thing.
I'm sorry, but I don't need any alcohol for what I'm about to do.
Don't call it alcohol. Call it a little bit of liquid courage.
I pat Zeke.
And you walk
Like,
out.
insanely worried about Zeke.
Oh man. As
Like,
you walk back.
I'm so reluctant to walk out.
That's fine. You reluctantly
See you soon,
but
dear.
do so as you walk out the door. Zeke kind of mews at you as you leave.
I give
as
him the special animal beer. For carnival birds.
it's like catnip wine,
It is. It is like cat.
but for lions. Yes, it's a catnip
It
wine. It's
is.
perfect. So
it was crafted specifically for him. Very small batch.
yes. So you head back. It takes you about 10 minutes to do this after the conversation. You know, get back to the other side. Total leaving and coming back. Samuel sits upon. Actually, I need to change the music here. This is not the proper music for this. And I'm being summoned by a child. Little dude. Hi.
I need a haircut. What are you doing? Want to draw volcanoes? We need volcanoes.
So you can't stay there. Maybe later, okay? When I finish. All right, hop out. That's the new map for the
'Cause
place.
Brock
I'll
is
tell you
with
later.
us.
Go on and go. Get out. Go.
That's
You
why
can't be in here for these things. You don't need to
Do you
hear
not
from-
have locks on your doors? Like, how did
He
you?
does not have
How do you
locks
guys
on it.
No.
even like?
The lock does not exist.
By the way, about Brock's in the church too, correct?
Yeah, Brock is the one preparing doing the ritual.
How do you have happy go fun time?
Okay, so let's go ahead and go with. I like how you described that. Wilderness. So let's go ahead and go back to this song for now. Okay, so Samuel sits upon an altar in the middle of the temple or the church of SC2. Brock the Rock is kneeled on the other side of the altar as he begins to prepare his ritual. He says, SC2, we come before you in this church and pray you grant our wish. Before me is Samuel of Greenrock, a great friend, a good person, a martyr of your cause who sacrificed himself to save another. He's been taken from us too soon, and has much more good to do in this world. We beseech you to grant him his life back, and we offer these tokens as a representation of this man. And he kind of puts his hand out and faces you, Limrut, first. And what do you do?
I take the vial out and I put it in his hand.
Okay, and he goes, what does this represent?
Memories.
Memories of what?
Memories of Samuel
As what? As a type of man?
as a friend.
As deeds he's done? As a friend, okay. What kind of man would you say Samuel was?
A man's man.
If you can, please give me a 2d6 plus 1.
6.
A 6, okay. As he takes the vial, opens it, and we watch as this white fog, as it pours out. It's like it was this tiny vial about this big. As he pours, it covers Samuel's entire body with a lot more than initially had, and then eventually just absorbs into it. And then he goes, we have the next sacrifice, as he then points his hand out to Metalath. Mocha, would you like to play Metalath in this case? As Metalath is holding a bag with all the broken pieces of the Warhammer.
I would not. I think you do a better Metalath. Just say beer a couple times, you'll be in the character.
Yeah. Yes. He goes, as you look as Metalath, he's like, all right, I'm next. As he chugs his beer really quick, just downs the last little itty bit of it as he walks forward with this.
It's called Liquid Courage, by the way.
Yes, as he walks forward with this bag, he's shaking a little bit. He's worried as he goes, I bring this, as he sets it into Brock's hand, and he goes, what does this represent? He goes, this man's courage, his bravery, his willingness to give up everything for his friends and others, even the ones he doesn't know. He goes, he's a brave man, and his tasks are not done. He needs to return. And we're going to go and roll Metalath.
+7.
Roll +7. Maybe +2. For the courage. I can't roll, apparently. I put a dot there, that's why.
+7.
8. Okay. As it lays, as Brock takes it from him, unties it, opens it up as it's now spread across Samuel's chest, which is a little bit bloated, and a little like some parts of, like realistically, look at this. If you look at a good glimpse of Samuel, he's a corpse that's been dead for about a month.
He's pretty ripe.
He's pretty ripe.
Petrin taps on Kazumi's shoulder. I was told this was going to be dangerous. Do you think it's wise to have Rose in here?
As he says that to you, Kazumi, you
Limrod turns and goes, shh.
do I have...
Yeah, shh. I'm just kidding.
Shush. But as he says this, Brock goes, do we have the final sacrifice? As he looks towards you, Kazumi, do you, as a character, wish to send Rose out before you give it to him, or what do you want to do?
We were instructed that this was going to be dangerous.
You would have known as Soros when he did the original research that this would potentially be dangerous.
She's outside the church,
Okay.
and that's as far as she's going.
Okay. So you have her, she's waiting outside, as then you walk forward as Brock puts his hand out.
You say that Zeke walks back in.
Drunk.
So Kazumi, he holds his hand out to you. What do you do?
These herbs are a sign of Samuel and his willingness to put himself before others.
And what was he to you?
a great defender of his people.
He kind of like nods at you solemnly as, he kind of gets a little smile to his face. Because during this whole thing, he's been kind of straight-faced, a very, not cordial, but serious, I guess would be the easiest way to describe it. And he kind of like cracks a little bit of a smile at that, let's say, and as he then takes these and it spreads across. Can you give me a 2d6 plus 1 also? Seven. Okay. So, as this final sacrifice is placed onto Samuel's body, Kazumi, you step back as a dim white light begins to surround his decaying body. It grows bigger and brighter. You turn away with the blinding hope in your heart that Samuel's returning to this world, as a blast of energy just goes shooting outwards, knocking everybody on their asses and back about a good 5 feet. But then you hear a gasp of air. It can be heard from Samuel's chest as it begins to rise. Brock, as knocked back, starts to scramble on his knees back to the altar that Samuel is laying on and lays his ear against his chest. His eyes grow wide. And he just yells, "There's a heartbeat!" He yells as placing his head back on Samuel's chest, tears falling from his cheeks. He looks up at everybody and he will need rest, but he'll be okay. As Samuel has returned to life in this world, barely by a thread. As everybody, I think at that point, kind of takes a solemn sigh that Brock is safe after he risked his life for this. Nothing bad happened, from what you can tell. Samuel's skin and body go from this decaying state to pretty much exactly as you guys last saw him before his death.
Is this the second time he's been
So
resurrected
purple?
now?
This is the first time.
Is this purple?
No, you're not purple.
Who was the one person that I resurrected?
It was me.
Oh, yeah, technically you're right. This is true. Samuel has died, yes.
Resurrected.
Mhm.
You just made it so the last breath roll didn't fail.
He
AKA
sacrificed.
resurrection. Don't kid
He
yourself.
sacrificed one of his lives for you, man. It wasn't a 10
I understand.
It was literally a sacrifice.
I know.
As he returns you two, he goes, he will need rest. He goes, I will care for him. And then, do you all wish to do anything before you leave this chapel?
Throw holy water on him. No, I'm just kidding.
Samuel rises up, screams, turns into a demon, murders you, bites your head off.
Murders me.
Murders Limrod, bites his head off, straight off.
Starts eating my brain.
Gaining all
All
of
right.
his life.
If no one wants to do anything, Petron's actually gonna walk up
Okay.
to Brock and Samuel
Okay, so you
and
walk.
kind of take in who Samuel was and who he is now.
So you spend some time just kind of sitting in front of him. He looks exactly as you as yourself remember him being. You get no ill thoughts or omens or feelings.
Just without wearing the armor.
You get no odd thoughts or feelings from him. The chest just slowly rises and falls as his breathing just stays steady.
He kind of looks at Brock. So this man has done enough good and will do enough good that a god has brought him back.
He looks at you and goes, yes. Thanks to the sacrifice of his companions and friends. And his God saw fit that they were worthy.
Ish.
Petron starts to think about his god, Serenere.
Okay.
And starts to wonder if he's not doing enough for his god.
And then with that, do you walk out with that thought in your head?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heading towards the fucking brewery because I need to get Zeke back.
You mean a beer?
No.
So, you head back. Limrod or Kazumi, is there anything you wish to do? Metaleth leaves. He goes back to the brewery also, just following alongside you, Petron. Both of you quietly walking, but Kazumi or Limrod, what do you do?
I head back to the bonfire that I was at before to go start throwing wooden
into
sticks
it.
back into it.
Okay, so you just bonfire. Kazumi, is there anything you wish to do before we kind of end and go into the night?
No.
Okay. So, Petrin, you arrive. Metalatha walks in. Paula, he goes, Paula, I'm
Hi.
back. It went
Hey,
well.
welcome back.
I need a
Nicolas.
beer to celebrate.
It's always good to see you here. I do happen to. I made a special brew for you.
I
for
even
this
brought
occasion
coins.
here. Excellent. You can pay me the 2 coins there. I now have 6 coins
6
total.
coins, yeah.
Oh wait, I was gonna say I never actually paid.
So Petrin walks in as
You
Zeke,
did.
as you see Zeke on the floor, just like kind of like pawing in the air at nothing.
He might have gotten into the special brew, and yes,
Catnip.
it's okay
Catnip
there,
wine.
lad. He'll be okay. If you need to leave him here for the night, he'll be well taken care of. I actually happen to have a cat bed. Don't ask me why I have it. I used to collect the dang things. They used to like frolic all over the place there. They kind of liked all jumping all in all the tubes and stuff that you have for the
Do
brew.
you at any
Would you
point try
like
to
a tour,
interrupt her?
actually?
Because she never shuts up.
Would you like a tour?
This would be interesting. Maybe Limrod will show up.
I'll ignore her and do my best to leave with Zeke because
Damn,
As he
Petrin-
attempts to leave, you do
Pet-
realize he has not paid you yet for the beers earlier.
Excuse me, you need to pay me for those beers, though. This isn't a
and
free
you got
business.
my lion drunk when I specifically
I don't
told
think
you
I
not.
got him to. I think you said he needs something to drink, and I drank him something to drink.
And you said you had non-alcoholic, and look at him.
It's catnip.
I'm
It
not
is not
paying.
alcoholic there.
It's catnip.
It just happens to be. It's more like catnip. We use it as a base there with the hops,
As he's
and then we cook it out to all the alcohol, and then it's catnip.
It looks at
kind
you,
of thing.
paw on the face and down. No claws
I
out.
think he's
Just
a little bit more friendly here.
it's very
Yeah,
soft.
cuts me through the middle.
Everyone loves Zeke when he's like this there. If you like him, I could bring some with you on your next adventure.
You drugged my cat.
I didn't really drug him. He kind of took a liking to it. I just happened to put the bowl on the other side of the thing, and he walked right over to it and started going. You
Deal
know what
with
they
it,
know.
Tim. Your cat's a lush.
It's his first time drinking. He just came of
Anyway,
age.
Midlaff, would you like to have a tour of the facilities? It's always good to see another dwarf who worships beer.
We get to see more beer.
Beer, beer, beer.
It's
You
beer.
know who I'm speaking of?
It's beer.
Yes, you know who I'm speaking of there. Beer.
Let's go.
All right. So as I go through,
As Paula gets distracted, doesn't actually you don't end up paying her as she walks
know,
away.
that's not-
real quick here, as I
No,
turn.
that's metagaming. That is metagaming. You are not allowed. You are leaving with Metalab.
I am doing something
Mel
else.
was
Regardless to that situation,
Mel was in the
Hey,
middle
watch-
of saying,
watch
guys,
the-
Fine.
I'm trying to get a bartender. I'm trying to roleplay a bartender to take over while I'm gone. Thank you, Tim, for letting me finish my
Let's
roleplay.
go. Continue.
Gabriel, could you watch the front here and make sure
Gabriel.
that everybody is taken care of there?
I will watch for any and all volcanoes, sir.
It's ma'am for the last time there.
Sorry. I get confused. It's the beard. I apologize.
No drinking on the job. You can do that afterwards.
afterwards.
Happenings. All right, Metalan. So as you see, as they're walking away, just start talking about all this.
The
brewery
random
stuff.
ass brewery shit. Take him to the back. Show him it all.
Yep.
Take him to the back room, man.
Where the real beer is.
2 dwarves, 1 beer.
Two dwarves enter. One
Okay.
cast leaves.
I leave with Zeke,
You leave with Zeke.
Well,
trying to like make sure he doesn't like
Zeke,
trip and-
like on occasion, like he starts walking for a bit, then he like lays down, and then you try to move him, and he's like doesn't want to move, so you end up eventually like grabbing him by like the mane, start like dragging him for a little ways, and he finally like gets tired of you, like, "Meow," bats you away, and then gets back up and like grumpily walks, like kind of staggering back, following you. It's a little bit of an annoyance, but I mean Zeke's in good spirits. He's not in any real harm.
Yep.
As you go, I'm swinging back to the castle for the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to my bed.
Okay. Kazumi, you just went back to the castle too, correct? I can't remember. I apologize.
I did.
So you headed back to the castle, as Limrat, you're by your bonfire.
You have a
getting-
sudden
it's-
urge to
it's
go
get-
drinking.
It's you do not. It's it's early
It's a
night.
bonfire. You have to drink at a bonfire. It's fact.
So it's early night. Your bonfire, you have it as large and as tall as you wish it to be since you can control it. Is there anything you like to do, or you just kind of like, is there a reason behind making this bonfire specifically?
No, just sitting out there, staring into the fire.
Okay. So the night kind of continues. At points, people kind of come by, and they nod to you as they sit and they kind of enjoy the fire themselves, warming themselves up. A couple of people have like sticks with like meat on them and stuff like that are cooking it and just having a good time. It's a very nice town. Everybody treats you. No one treats you really poorly. No one super knows you, so they're not like talking to you a lot. But you get a good vibe of just being in their company while you're around like this. Eventually the night goes by. Paula, we see, everybody kind of goes to finishing up to get ready for bed. And then,
I'm gonna add my werewolf book to the town library.
Cool.
I thought you said you were gonna add it to the fire.
I thought he was too also.
Book
So,
burning.
As I stick a knife in it and Rose passes away. No.
Oh my god.
dun,
That
dun,
shit.
dun.
Fucking Harry Potter over here.
So, the night, it's quiet as Petron sleeps in his new room. Like, just spread out on the floor, just... Well, not on the floor, but on the bed. Metalast is sleeping on a table in his new favorite place. Passed out from the amount he ended up drinking at the very end of it. As Zeke continues to, like, randomly paw at your leg, Petron, as you sleep, as it, like, dangles down. Limrod, Sintel sleep soundly in their beds for the first time really in a long time. Very peaceful. Sioris is off somewhere in the unknown. And Kazumi
Probably
lays
sleeping on a rock.
in her bed, brushing Rose's hair, like, off of her face as she slumbers.
I'm gonna sleep in the fire.
Creeper.
Okay, you're sleeping in the fire. Fine. Or the
Use
ashes.
magical damage.
So, Kazumi smiles at one of the two people she really trusts in this world. And lets out a sigh and just stands up, waving her hand. A blue shimmer appears around Rose, and Kazumi walks out and closes the door. I need to make some music for this. Dun, 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 dun.
Does she die from an aneurysm?
We'll go back to this music again. Let me move this over here for the moment. Cool. So, no, she does not die from an aneurysm. But she, walks out, closes the door. The moon stands tall in the night, and the castle is quiet and still. Walking down the hall, she stops in front of a door. Her hand kind of quivers a little as she reaches for the handle and quietly steps in. As the door shuts behind her, we look into a moonlit room. It's very plain. It hasn't been lived in for too long. But
Moonlit?
yeah, moonlit. There's the little window on the side as the moon, like, kind of is shining inwards. It hasn't been lived in too long. It's well kept, though. There's really nothing out of the ordinary. There's a dresser, a table, and an occupied bed. Kazumi looks around calmly as she quickly moves towards the dresser, reaching for the thing that's leaning against it. In the moonlight, we see a collar of thorns flash by in the weapon's reflection as she moves it side to side, kind of getting a feel for it. Hesitation sets in as she turns towards the bed. But the collar, it tightens, it just grips her. And with a dead look in her eyes, she steps towards the bed. The blade of the scythe, the blade of the scythe is sliding under the pillow as the person in the bed begins to stir. Quickly, she reaches down, grabbing or clasping over the mouth and nose, forcing the person's head back down onto the pillow as the freezing chill of there we go. So as the freezing, like, chilled metal is on their neck, as their eyes grow wide, frightened with the look as they look up at Kazumi. In an instant, her arm just wrenches upwards as Sinathel's head, still with this look of fear in his eyes, rolls onto the ground. Without emotion, Kazumi returns the scythe, leans it back up against the dresser, and exits the room. In the room, we see a head on the floor, pool of blood starting to flow, blood splattering all around along the backside wall as a shadow approaches from the corner. I told you she would be your downfall, but she wouldn't listen. Now she's mine, and it's time for a lot more fun. As a smile stretches from ear to ear, showing these white fangs as it looks at the decapitated head on the ground. As the shadow of the White Wolf turns and walks through the door, the closed door to be more correct. Kazumi enters her room, covered in just blood, but with a fleeting thought and a flick of her wrist, the blood just disappears off of her. As she lays back down into bed, Rose turns over, rolls, and kind of gets into her arms as she falls back asleep. At that point, Paula, Limrut, Petrin, you all stir awake from this wailing scream that echoes across the